Hello, ranters. I'm Ryan.
What up? This is Robert.
Let's rant. Welcome to Ryan and Robert Rant. One more time, I am Ryan, and I am joined by my reasonable yet sexy co-host, Robert.
Sup?
Today on the show, we'll be talking about Godzilla vs. King Kong in theaters now and on HBO Max. We literally just finished watching it at our local IMAX screen, and oof, we got some things we got to talk about. First, before starting, if you haven't seen it, there are spoilers ahead, so do yourself a favor, pause the video, and come back and join in on the conversation.
Also, anything we say is all in good fun, as it should be, so please have a sense of humor and an open mind before continuing.
All right, so, you ready?
Yeah, let's get into it.
All right. So let's talk about the story. I'm conflicted. I honestly don't know how I truly feel about this movie. Like, I liked it, but I also didn't like it at the same time, if that makes any sense. What were your thoughts on that?
The story was it was very vanilla. Like, it was very plain. Like, there was no real substance to it other than to get these two giant titans to just to fight. Like, that's all it was. Like, and honestly, even the first time they fight, or even honestly when they fight the entire time, like, it makes no sense. So my thing is it started in the opening credits where they were talking about Godzilla. Obviously, this is taking place after King of Monsters, and they're talking about Godzilla being like the king of the monsters and how he's defeated all the other titans. Like, did he kill them? Did he just defeat them? Like, what? Why did he all of a sudden go on a murderous rampage of these titans when they all bowed to him at the end of the movie? Like, they recognized him as the alpha. Like, he was the apex predator of all the titans. Why would he just all of a sudden go around murdering them? And then later in the movie, they said that there hasn't been a Godzilla sighting in 3 years. So which one is it? Did he just defeat them by making them submit and they just went into hibernation? Or did he just murder them? Like, I was confused when I saw that happen. I don't really, they didn't clarify that at all.
Yeah,
What did
no,
you
no.
think?
Yeah, I agree with you that the story itself is, you said it perfectly, very vanilla. It's very paint by numbers. Like, it's just, I don't know, like, so before we watched it, I was like, you know what, I want to watch something to sort of, get me in the mood for this one, because, I've been actually pretty excited to see this one. So I was like, you know what, I was torn between Skull Island and King of the Monsters. So I was like, you know what, let me revisit King of the Monsters. And we'll talk about that movie at a later date, because there's a lot of stuff that I have to say about that movie. But basically, like, the one thing that I took away from that movie versus this one is that it seems like there was a lot more action. Like, the action was more suspenseful in King of the Monsters than it was in this one. This sort of felt very cookie cutter. Even the editing felt a little weird. Like, it felt like it was like we were to the next scene like real fast. Like, it was like, come on, we gotta go, let's get this going. Like, I don't know, it felt kind of
Yes.
choppy. Like, am I alone on that, or did you feel that too?
No, it did feel like they were just trying to get from one set piece. Like, I don't know. I don't know if we would actually call it a set piece because it's basically just all CGI at this point. But it was basically just from one set piece to another set piece, basically just big action sequence. Like, they were just big action. Like, and I want to clarify. Like, I don't mind. Like, I love the monster fights. Like, I want to clarify that from the very start. Like, I just give me two big monsters fighting, and that's fine. Like, I'm okay with that. But at the
Yeah.
same time, there has to be at least some substance. Like, it was just confusing to me. Like, in the King of the Monsters, since we're talking about that a little bit, King Ghidorah was set up to be, the rival to Godzilla, the
Spoiler
ultimate
alerts, by
rival
the
to
way.
the
For
ultimate.
those of you
Well,
who
I
haven't
feel like
seen
if
it.
you're already watching this show, or listening to this show, then you one have seen King of the or Godzilla versus Kong, and hopefully if you've seen that movie, then you've seen King of the Monsters. But yes, spoilers ahead. But yeah, they set up Ghidorah to be Godzilla's ultimate rival, and they were supposed to have this big clash to be the complete ruler of all the Titans, and then now in this, what do we call it? Maybe the third, if it's the third movie in the Godzilla, but it's like I guess the fourth movie overall in the MonsterVerse. But now they're setting up as Kong and Godzilla as the ultimate rivals. Like I thought there was only one ultimate rival in the whole grand scheme of things. But yeah, it was the story was, like I said, it was kind of rushed to get from one monster fight to another. Again, perfectly fine, because I will say, like, the monster fights was amazing in this movie, and it was amazing in King of the Monsters, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I thought the cinematography during the fights, let's see, there was like a 3 rounds of Kong and Godzilla, and then the final fight. So let's say 4 total fights. I thought the cinematography was gorgeous.
Yeah, it definitely
Personally.
was something to look at. Like I said, I think I just enjoyed the fights more in King of the Monsters. But I mean, like you said, like there are some good moments in the movie. So like the opening scene when they show you Kong and whatnot, his little daily routine that he does. I mean, I really enjoyed the scenes with King Kong. Like I really enjoyed them. And I just feel like Godzilla, like when Godzilla was introduced in this one, it was sort of out of nowhere, but it didn't really feel like Godzilla. Like, but then again,
No.
I mean, I get it. It makes sense, if you're going based off of the last one when he gets all juiced up from the nukes and whatnot.
Yeah.
But like, he just has that aggression that I guess didn't go away after, what was it, 3 to 5 years. But yeah, like it just
that
felt
real
like
road rage.
Yeah, like when he's attacking the lab, it's just quick in, quick out. Like it's just, you see him real quick, he's destroying everything, but it feels very fast paced.
Yeah.
Like he's like, you
Like
guys
they got into it.
Yeah, like you guys are only having you only have me for the day, so I'm out.
I got to film all my scenes today, and then I'm out.
Exactly.
He's become a real diva since getting all juiced up.
For real, you take a couple hundred nukes, and then all of a sudden,
Yeah, you're
going
big
around
time.
going around calling himself the
King.
king of the monsters.
Exactly, self-titled and all.
Well, who the people's king is? Kong. In my opinion, after watching this movie.
No, I did feel like he was the more of the hero in the story. All right, in this movie, they did set him up as they because Godzilla did kind of feel like the villain. Like he just came up, like he attacked this. What was it? It was Apex.
I think it was just Apex.
Just saw them. Yeah, it was Apex. It was like, yeah. So he attacks the Apex facility in Pensacola, and
yeah,
no reason. Like that was it. Like okay, why? And I mean, I guess they do allude to it later on as to why, because this evil company is developing something. Again, we'll get to that in the end. Spoilers for later. But they're developing something, and you just don't really. It just feels so out of place because Godzilla was set up to be this protector of planet Earth. Like he was the one protecting the humans from all these other Titans, and all of a sudden he's, destroying this lab. Yes, they are bad people, but they're still people. It just made no sense to me. And then all of a sudden, like he comes in and attacks. So after they leave, they take Kong away from Skull Island to take him to Antarctica, and he's on the carrier. Like Godzilla just automatically is like, oh, I got to kill this other Titan too. Like why? What is the need?
Which, by the way that they took him off the island, that I didn't like that cut. That cut felt like it was rushed. Like it was just like,
oh yeah,
okay, we're talking about it, and then it's like, okay, cool, he's on the boat. It's like, wait, what? Like it was just like, okay, I guess we're doing this.
Where did you get the chains for this guy?
Exactly. Like it's just like I feel like I wanted more world building for this one, but it
Yeah,
felt like I don't know. But I think a big part of it too, like you said at the beginning, it's very vanilla. It's very, paint by numbers. The cast. This is a good cast, like, of
yeah.
actors. Like, these actors are really, really good and other things, and it feels like they're just phoning it in this movie. Like, I mean, even Alexander Sarsgaard, who does play kind of a different role in this than he usually does, which was nice to see and good. And Brian Henry doing his thing, where actually his thing was different in this one because, like, did you see Child's Play? I'm not sure if you saw that one, the new one.
Yeah, but I honestly don't remember it.
Yeah, like his character was good in there, and of course, I really enjoyed him, and the other stuff he's been in, but yeah, this was interesting to see him, like, very, like, sporadic and whatnot. Like, I actually enjoyed his little podcast thing, which I thought was funny. I was like,
And
oh,
he
we're gonna
played the
be
conspiracy nut really well.
yeah, he did, like, really, really good in it, and Rebecca Hall did really well as the scientist for Kong, and what did they what was the article, the Kong Whisperer?
Oh yeah.
It did make me laugh. But I mean, I don't know. It was just, like I said, the cast felt like it was just, they were just like, okay, here's the script. It's a monster movie. We're just gonna play the human element, which we'll talk about in a little while with that. Something I really, really want to talk about. But yeah, like you were saying, once they get him on the ship and whatnot, and then all of a sudden, when
He
Godzilla
just gets
starts approaching,
yeah.
yeah,
Godzilla just magically shows up, and and so that's what I also wanted to, like, discuss. Since we're there, like, did it feel like they were, like, both Godzilla and Kong were resized? Like, Godzilla felt a lot smaller than he did in the last two, at least
yeah.
in that particular scene.
Well, that, and how freaking big are these carriers that they're on,
That,
and
yeah.
like, because you got those two carriers, like, when they have their first fight, and like when Kong's like, oh no, he's going to take out that ship, let me jump onto this second ship right in between it and sink that, and then let me jump
Yeah.
on that last one to save it. But then after the fight's said and done, and he goes back to the freighter that he was on, I guess that could support his weight. I don't know what the heck that thing was made out of, but I mean, it was
And
able to
then you
get
had both
flipped
monsters
over.
just standing on this carrier, like they're it's a boxing, like it's a ring, and I'm just like, I don't. How much weight can these carriers hold? Like, I imagine these monsters are like 100,000 tons. I don't know. They had, like, the measurements and the weights of the Titans at the beginning during the credits, but it was literally blink and you miss it. I
Yeah,
was trying to get. I think they said Godzilla's supposed to be 393 feet tall.
oh, even the credits were going by pretty fast.
Yeah,
Like,
and that's where, like, a
those
lot of the
those
information
felt like it
is.
was, yeah, it was like, it didn't feel like the first Godzilla. It didn't feel like Skull Island, where you could still read some of what was going on during the credits. This felt like very, like, let's go,
Yeah.
we got to get to it. But I feel like that actually hurt it. I feel like if they would have taken their time with this and, like, just gave it a little bit more, like, it probably would have been a better movie. But like I said, even the story gets a little wishy-washy, where so I think a big part of the story that bothered me was it felt very, very cheesy, very, like, like with the with everything that the humans were doing. Like, it felt very, very futuristic, very, like,
Oh, the anti-gravity. What was it? The
yeah, yeah.
Hollow Earth.
Hollow. Speaking of Hollow Earth, when they get to Hollow Earth, the first thing that came to mind was freaking Ice Age: Dawn of the Dinosaurs. I was waiting to see freaking what's his face? Oh my god, the one that Simon Pegg plays. How did I forget his name? I gotta look it up because it's gonna kill me. Forget Ice.
I definitely have thoughts on Hollow Earth that I kind of want to get to in a little bit.
Yeah. What
But
did you wanna
so
what
if
did you
we're
wanna talk about?
So we got to the fight on the carry, which don't get me wrong, like, as much as I felt like they did get resized and made them smaller, at least from the previous ones. Like I love that entire fight, like just the way it was shot. Like you had the view from the airplanes that like kind of
Buck.
went
Sorry to interrupt you.
underneath, and yeah,
Buck was
and
the
it
character's
was
name from my siege. It was gonna kill me. I'm sorry I interrupted you. You were saying?
no, it's fine. Yeah, but like the whole fight on the carrier was pretty cool. And then like I guess we can say that Godzilla technically won that round because he almost drowned Kong, and Kong got saved by some deployed depth charges.
Yeah.
Again, spoilers. And then yeah, so they and I want to. So the other part that was a little. Well, okay, let's get on to the humans, like especially Madison, played by was it Millie Bobby Brown?
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to get her full name correct. And her, I don't remember the father's Kyle Chandler, the head of, I guess one of the top guys in Monarch. So
He has nothing to do in this movie.
he really doesn't. No, he really does. You could tell that he was literally like probably just filmed all the scenes in one day.
Yeah.
But so
like Godzilla.
yeah. So yeah, I guess he declared himself king of the humans and was like, you know what, me and Godzilla got a roll now.
Well, wait, isn't his credit end, or is it with when they're doing the opening credits?
Oh, at the end,
Oh, it was with.
I want to say it's with, and then what was it? I'm not gonna try to pronounce that dude's name. It's the villain guy. I think he was the and.
Yeah, from the Nun and Weeds.
Yeah, I'm not gonna try. Sorry to the actor, if you're listening to this. I'm so sorry. But so yeah, so all of us. Okay, so he was in Pensacola after the Godzilla attacked. They set up like a camp for like all the injured and like what they do after any natural disaster. So like did him and his daughter Madison, did they already live in Pensacola? Because she went and visited him after she got out of school, and then she said, "I'll see you at home." I feel like that's a giant coincidence that they already lived in Pensacola where the attack happened. I felt that was just way too convenient, and it just happened for story purposes to get her back involved in this story.
Yes.
Right?
But I'm sorry, I can't talk.
Plot armor.
But yeah, that is a big plot, hole where it's sort of like, it's just I guess we painted ourselves into a corner, so they live here.
Yeah, exactly.
Story. It cheapened it.
Yeah, a little bit. Like they could I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure there was a better way to write both of them into the story somehow, or she could not even have been in Pensacola. She could have just called him on the phone, or I don't know, something. But it also goes to the later scene where her what was that actor's name again?
Tyree.
I'm
Brian.
so bad with actors' names. Brian. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Brian Henry.
Oh, his name was what? Was it Curtis in the movie?
Let me look it up. Apologies to the audience.
Bernie. I am so sorry, Bernie. Brian Tyree Henry. You were the MVP of this movie, besides the monsters. You were the MVP of the humans. All I'm saying. So yeah, Madison, Bernie, and Madison's friend Tapwater. I'm not even gonna. He's
Julian Dennison, man. That was a surprise. I completely forgot he was in this movie in the cast when I saw the cast back when they were filming it. He's wasted.
He's such a funny guy.
And he was wasted in this movie.
He really was. I mean, a lot of them were, and I'll get more into that. But when they're in the scene, so they break back into the Pensacola Apex site, after it's completely destroyed because stuff is still working.
Oh yeah.
So they break in.
That did make me laugh. It got a chuckle out of me.
Yeah. So they break into this facility, and again to basically get these three humans to Hong Kong. All of a sudden, they have like this underground monorail type system, an anti-gravity monorail system that stretches from Pensacola to Hong Kong. That somehow and they used to ship parts, and they got onto this one of the shipping thing, and it zooms them like 600 miles per hour from Pensacola to Hong Kong. Like, again, just a convenient way to get our humans from point A to point B without hopefully just no questions asked. Just it makes sense. All right, just let it happen.
And the fact that it only
I,
took them about 5 years, if that, but that's just going based
that's
off
what
of
I'm
the
saying. Like,
story.
how you? I mean, I don't know. This technology cannot exist because I mean,
Yeah,
in my opinion, but
but
like,
that's what
and you
ruins it,
build
though. I think.
this. I mean, I know it's a work of fiction,
Yeah,
but come on,
yeah. Like you can ask us to suspend disbelief for so long, like that. That's what
right?
was.
We're talking about 400 feet monsters here, but yet this is the
Yeah,
unbelievable part.
yeah, and I mean, I guess we can get into it now, more or less. But it's the human element, man. These movies focus too much on the human element. Like,
Yeah,
I wanted to see more Kong. I wanted to see more Godzilla. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, I don't even know if it's the fact that it's focusing too much on humans. I mean, like I said, the cast is great. It's a it's a great cast, but they're given nothing to work with. It's just very like, oh, let's do this, let's go here, let's do that, and they're just like, okay, the entire time. The little girl, though, the little girl, like she was amazing. I loved her. Like she was awesome.
yeah, no, yeah, she was great. Like, and she was either completely deaf or at least had partial hearing loss or most hearing loss. But yeah, I mean, even for pretty much having a non-speaking role, she probably conveyed more emotion than all of the other humans in that movie combined.
Yes, yes, 100%. Yes. But like I said, I don't know. I Like I said, I'm so conflicted with this movie. There's parts I liked. There's stuff that I don't know. And the funny thing is, I don't even know if I would want to watch this movie again. Like it felt sort of like I hyped it up in my head, like, oh, this is gonna be a good movie. But I sort of kept my expectations low. But even at that,
Yeah,
like I just feel like this movie did not deliver. But
yeah,
like I said, even with all the time and the delays that came with it, you would think it would be a little stronger on the story. But of course, more than likely it went towards making sure that the film looked really good, which it does. I do recommend,
yeah.
if you are able to see it in IMAX, definitely, you know, check it out on the biggest screen that you can with the best sound. Speaking of another thing, I
I
don't
would
know
have
if it
loved to have
was,
seen it in 3D personally.
yeah, oh yeah, especially when they go to Hong Kong. Like,
Oh yeah.
oh god, that would have looked beautiful.
Just
There
just real
was,
quick, just real quick.
yeah,
It
yeah.
is
What's up?
8,521 miles from Pensacola to Hong Kong.
And how
That's all
long?
I have.
How long if you're
It's
going
eight.
600 miles?
It'll take you about 13 hours, I think, if I'm doing the math right. I put 650 miles per hour. It would take you 13 hours.
Oh, nice. Um,
So I mean, I guess it's the same as in a plane. I mean, I don't know how fast planes travel. Like, I'm not an aerospace engineer.
yet.
WandaVision,
No.
shout out.
Hey. Um,
But
yeah. Well, oh man, what was I gonna say? I lost my train of thought. It's all good though.
sorry. I mean, I was gonna say something about the
Yeah.
whole Antarctica scene. So like the base. Okay, so there was a base in Godzilla versus King Kong, where there was a base in Antarctica where it somehow leads to the Hollow Earth. Now, is this the same base that was in King of the Monsters? Like, is there just like I don't know, dozens of bases that just got built in Antarctica or something? Like, feel like that's just a ploy just to go like, hey, we can't go anywhere else, so let's just go to Antarctica. Like, Antarctica's got this. Like,
That's
I don't.
actually that's what I was wondering too. So speaking of that scene when they first drop Kong off and he's just there in the snow and you see him shivering and whatnot. Once they cut to the rest of the cast when they're there with him, I love how they changed into those outfits. But those outfits, when I looked at it, the
They're
first thing
not.
I
No,
thought, what's up?
No, those outfits were not going to do anything to keeping them warm.
No, no, no. The thing about the outfit, that for sure. But the thing that made me laugh, I was like, oh my God. Like, they literally look like they walked off the set of Blade 2. Like, I swear, like, go back.
Specifically, Blade 2.
Yeah, specifically Blade 2. I was like, whoa. So I got a good chuckle out of that. And then, when they were going, when, the little girl's trying to convince, Kong to go down there, like, that actually got me a little bit when she was like, your family's down there. And he's like, all right. Like, I thought that was.
Let's do this.
I was like, man, that's messed up. But at the same time, like, I was also getting Alien versus Predator vibes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, when in doubt, just go to Antarctica. It's unknown. It's basically the most unknown, other than like the bottoms of the ocean. Like, it's just Antarctica. Like, just big unexplored giant ice block.
Exactly. So,
Again,
I keep
just for plot purposes.
I keep forgetting what it's called. Where is it that they go again?
For what?
When they go to the center,
Hollow Earth.
Hollow Earth. There. I don't know why I keep forgetting that name.
Okay. So when they went down there, I was like, I really enjoyed the time. And this is what I have like. So I was gonna wait to this point to talk about, because I know you said the movie felt rushed and it could have felt long. Like, this movie could have been like an extra 30 minutes minimum longer.
Yeah.
Like, I think the runtime came out to be like an hour and 45 minutes. I don't know. It was something like that. I don't include credits or whatever, but I felt like this movie could have easily been an extra 30 minutes longer, and they could have, half of that they could have spent in the Hollow Earth, like just exploring it. Like, like, this is apparently the ancestral home for all these Titans, and I guess the big battle between Kong's ancestors and Godzilla's ancestors, and we got none of that.
We got I three suppose, Titans, maybe.
Yeah, that. But it was not enough. Like, they could have, like, and I guess I wouldn't know how they could explain it, considering this is the land of the Titans, and there's going to be like no humans, and there's going to be no written or cave drawing. There's no written history. There's no artistic history of it, which also I don't understand how. I'm assuming Kong's ancestors somehow built that massive door. Are they that intelligent to build doors? Oh, yeah. Okay, but yeah, that seemed kind of weird. And they had like this giant like temple type area. Like, are they that intelligent?
For a split second, I did think that was the temple from King of the Monsters when they blow up Godzilla. And right. With the radiation, like, for a split second, I was like, no, because that one was underwater, if I remember correctly.
And I thought they were in the Hollow Earth in King of the Monsters during his little, but I guess that was just a travel point.
Yeah.
To Hollow Earth, right?
I think so. Because
and then they added the whole gravity well thing. I don't know. It was all weird.
But that's what I mean. Like, there was such a jump in technology.
Yeah.
With everything.
And there was they didn't take the time to explain it. Like, I know we complain about the human element, but if they would have spent a little bit more time on exposition to explain things a little bit better. I mean, maybe I'm just dumb and I just didn't get it, but I mean, I felt like they definitely could have explained things more. But I mean, again, I'm going to preface by saying this movie is not about the humans and explaining stuff. We just want to see monsters fight.
Exactly.
But I mean, so I'll wait. No, I'll say it now. Like, if we do end up getting like a Kong sequel, because again, spoilers, he ends up at the end of the movie in Hollow Earth. So if we didn't get the explanation of Hollow Earth and maybe the history of Hollow Earth, if they do it as Kong sequel in Hollow Earth, then I would be okay with them not explaining going into more detail about Hollow Earth in this movie. Yeah. But again, I don't know if we're gonna get another movie.
Yeah, and
I guess we'll have to wait.
That's the weird thing about how this one ends. It's sort of
abrupt.
Yeah, like really abrupt. Like, it feels like it ends out of nowhere. It's like, okay, we did this. Okay, we're doing this. Like, it, like I said, it just feels like the movie's so rushed. But I mean, it's like, I don't know. Like, like I said, like, it's. I think that's what it is. Like you said, you just need like 30 more minutes, whether that be exposition, whether that be more. Just something concrete. Like it just feels so, I don't know, like it's just there. It feels lackluster to
Mhm.
me. Like I said, I felt pretty let down by this movie. I wanted to like it, and you know, like I said, some of the things that I liked, I loved, the little girl and her interaction with Kong. Like every scene that they're in, like felt impactful. It doesn't feel hammy. It doesn't feel cheesy. It actually feels like earned, and I think it's
Mhm.
because of her performance. Like you said, she has that attachment to him, and then that scene, when you find out that they understand each other, and he can speak sign language, that that's really cool. But that's the thing too, is like that's what I loved about Skull Island, is that it took the time to tell you, to build the world, to show you Kong. You also got to see him in action. Like it's just, like with this one, like I said, it feels like, they're like, okay, you already know what they are. But at the same time, Godzilla feels like a completely different monster in
Yes.
this movie, especially compared to that first Godzilla. Oh, the thing I was going to say, I don't know if whether, it was the movie, the auditorium we saw it in, or if it was the mixing. I'm almost certain it was the mixing. It feels like Godzilla's roar was turned down.
Oh yeah. It wasn't as loud as I would have liked it, but I don't know if that's yeah, I don't know if that was the audio from the theater or if it was the movie itself.
Yeah, I want to say it's the
Like
movie itself
when I watch
because
Godzilla
Kong
scream,
was
like I
like,
want to hear
yeah,
it.
yeah, like I want to feel it in my bones. Like it feels
Yeah, I want the
like
whole theater to
when
shake.
Kong, what's up?
I want the whole theater to shake when Godzilla
Exactly.
screams. Like I want it like he's screaming in my ear.
Yeah, like when we were watching it, I turned to my brother, and we were able to have a full conversation without having to like, oh, hold on, let me pause, for that. And,
Yeah.
we were just making little references to each other, which there is one reference I'm going to make in a little while once we get to it that I thought was very funny. Actually, two of them. But, yeah, so, I guess where did we leave off? Okay, so we were talking about Hollow
We were
Earth.
talking about Hollow Earth.
So,
So
yeah. When,
you want me to,
when,
want me to, so want me to talk about
yeah,
Hong
because I
Kong?
think,
Like, okay, so
yeah, go ahead and talk.
the big revelation when the humans, Millie Bobby Brown, her friend, they, and the other two, they show up in the Hong Kong facility of Apex and they discover, spoiler alert, Apex has developed Mecha Godzilla, and
What?
that's what they were building. I know,
Apex was the
such a
villain the
shocker.
entire time?
It's been humans all along.
What?
So
God.
maybe Godzilla was right to destroy the Pensacola plant. But yeah,
Oh,
so they get a demonstration of Mecha Godzilla, and he was only able to use like 40% of his power because they need a different power source, which is why the other humans are in Hollow Earth because apparently there's a power source within the Hollow Earth that could potentially power their giant Mecha Godzilla. And then
which
so they get the power source, and Mecha Godzilla goes online, and all that's what drives Godzilla to Hong Kong, and like Hong Kong gets wrecked. Like there's no denying it just gets destroyed.
yeah.
So Godzilla and Kong have another fight or like two more fights in Hong Kong, and again Hong Kong just gets wrecked. It didn't matter if Godzilla or Kong won. Hong Kong lost. And but anyway, so wins round two. Godzilla wins round three and ultimately defeats Kong, and then Mecha Godzilla comes out, and then that's where that fight starts. But I want to say I did actually like the design of Mecha Godzilla.
Yes. I
Like
I do agree. I was getting South Park vibes watching it though.
like
Just kept thinking of Mecha
the Barbara,
Streisand.
yeah, the
Yeah.
Barbara Streisand. But yeah, like I don't know what I was expecting when because I mean you just know Mecha Godzilla was coming. Like that was the like I don't know
Y-
Godzilla and Kong were not going to kill each other. Like you can't have that in my opinion.
Yeah.
And so you knew everybody knows that there was going to be bigger bad that they were gonna have to team up against, and you just know it was Mecha Godzilla.
Yeah.
And it's just all of a sudden, how is he gonna look? You know, like, and he actually looked pretty cool.
You know what he kind of reminded me of? He kind of reminded me of the Transformers, but from the Bumblebee movie. When they're having that fight
Yes.
on
Yeah.
Cybertron at the beginning,
Yeah.
that's what he reminded me of. He didn't remind me of like a Transformer from like Michael Bay's Transformers, which
Bayformers.
yeah. So like it actually looked
The
really
less we say
good.
about that, the better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna save that talk for another day.
And yeah,
But
and also Mecha Godzilla is also like powered by the skull of one of Ghidorah's three heads.
oh
So
god,
basically,
yeah.
that skull somehow acted like a supercomputer that, when it got combined with the power source from Hollow Earth, became more sentient, and it eventually took over this Mecha Godzilla. And it was basically Ghidorah inside of a mechanized Godzilla.
And that's what
And my
bothered
thing is
me.
like, yeah, I guess that was what I was talking to you about earlier.
Yeah.
Where did Apex? I mean, the last we saw with the skull, it was in, what was the actor's name? Tywin Lannister? Is it Charles
Charles Dance,
Dance?
man.
Dance.
Charles
Yeah, it was his
Dance.
character from the end of King of the Monsters. He had possession of that skull. So like, what happened to that? Like, that's just a complete, like, again. I mean, it's not. I guess you can call it me being nitpicky, which it kind of is. Just like, why can't I just enjoy the movie? And I did enjoy the movie. Don't get me wrong, but like, it's those little things. Like, okay, so how did they get into? They didn't say how they got into possession of it. It was in the hands of like an eco terrorist that wanted to like destroy the world and remake it in the Titan's image.
And I really thought he
And all
was
of,
going to come back as the villain in
yeah,
this one. Like he was going to be like, okay, this is where we got the head from, or something like, or something was going to come to play with the head, but I didn't think it was going to be this.
exactly.
This
Yeah, like
was
when you
like
see the head, you're like, yeah, you
yeah.
see the head, and you're like, okay, this is how Mechagodzilla is going to come into be. You just kind of like theorize that that's what's going to happen. So you thought he was going to come back from King of the Monsters because he was such a good villain.
Yeah. And
And
then
then
we got what we got, and it at the same
got
time it
to
feels like
CEO.
yeah, it feels like they were like, oh, all the nuggets and all the things that we laid in King of the Monsters that you thought was going to pay off in some sequel. Here's how we figured that out. It was sort of like, okay, we
Yeah,
finished it. The book is closed on that. And that's what makes me feel uncertain about the future of this
yeah,
universe, because it feels like they literally closed the book on everything with this
yeah,
movie. Like they were trying to tie up all the loose ends.
yeah. Again, the only way I can see it going forward is a Kong story in Hollow Earth. That's the only way I can see it going. And I don't even know how that would happen. Like, is there another Titan in Hollow Earth? I mean, that'd be cool. Maybe design a new Titan. Like, don't go like from what's already been done. I guess that'd be kind of cool. But I feel like, yeah, everything that was laid before in Kong, Skull Island, the first Godzilla, and King of the Monsters, like they 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 brought it to a conclusion, but I feel like it was a half-ass conclusion.
Yeah, like the payoff's not there.
Yes.
It's literally like, okay, what's the quickest way? What's the
Yeah.
fastest way we can resolve this? They can do their fight, and that's it. But even then, like I said, the fights, cool to look at, but
No, yeah. I mean,
they're
that's what you go for. You go for the
yeah,
fights.
but they're
I
kind
mean,
of
come on. That's the other reason why we
lackluster.
went to go see Pacific Rim.
Exactly. I never saw the second one though. I just couldn't. I don't know. Something about the second
I
one
don't
was so
remember
cheesy
it.
to me. But yeah. So oh, while we're on the subject, the two scenes, because I want to say them before I forget. The first one, there's two movie references that came to mind. I think it's the first. I think it's the first battle that they have on the ships when Godzilla shoots his atomic breath out, and it shows Kong jumping off the ship or something. I don't remember if it's that scene
Oh
when
yeah,
it
I know.
happens,
I know
but
what you're
yeah,
talking
when
about. Yeah,
he
yeah, yeah.
jumps and he has his little John McClane jumping off Nakatomi Tower. At the end of Die Hard, like he's just like jumping, and you just see the blue beam shoot up into the sky. That made me laugh really hard because it made me think of that. And then the second one, again, spoiler alert, at the end, the third fight, when, he gets his arm dislocated and he has to go all Riggs from Lethal Weapon and just like slam it back into place.
And again, like, how does he know? Like, I don't want to like discredit the intelligence of apes, but like, is that something they would know? I'm not. I don't know. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, again, I know it's a fictional movie. I understand.
Yes.
But it's just those little moments. It's just those moments in a movie that just stand out. You're like, I don't want to say it's cringeworthy because I didn't cringe. Like, again, I actually really enjoyed the movie overall. Like, I mean, you go in there for the fights, but again, you're gonna pick up on some of the tiniest details that you just like. Okay, this doesn't make any sense. Like, and again, when you watch as many movies, you understand the whole how a plot moves forward and what makes a movie good or not. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
I don't know. A reference I thought was I don't know if it was an actual reference, but I'll tell you what I thought when I saw it is when Godzilla's like nuclear breath and Mechagodzilla's like red nuclear breath like collided like Dragon Ball Z style.
They were like,
I was like, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
That was
Like,
a really cool scene.
Kamehameha wave on one end, and the other one was like, yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. You knew you were gonna see it.
Yeah,
Cool to see.
The one thing that I did like was the his axe when he picks it up and he just goes to sit down and he's like, "Yeah, this is my throne. I'm in charge. I'm the king here." And then I hate how long it's all
these like bat-looking things.
Yeah. And I hated how long it took me to realize that. I was like, oh, it's one of Godzilla's scales.
Yeah.
And then once I saw it, I was like,
I don't know if it's his personal scale. It's definitely like from the species. But yeah, it's that's why he was able to charge it. He was able to supercharge it.
Speaking of, there's one person we haven't talked about from the cast, and it was Isa Gonzalez's character.
Oh,
like
I just want hold on. I want to say that she's probably one of the most beautiful women on the planet. And if she actually does listen to this, will you marry me? Yeah, she was on.
He's a great guy. He's a great guy.
like I said, I mean.
But yes, again, we love you.
She's so beautiful and so talented, but I felt like she just didn't she had nothing to do in this movie.
She didn't. Like, I was really hoping her character was gonna make a turn, like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna go against my dad. Like, after seeing this, I see, like, you know what I mean? Like, there was gonna be I get what kind of movie this is. This is a popcorn entertaining movie, but at the same time, I still want a little story. People get tired of just the popcorn. Like, give me characters to root for. Give me a redemption. That's what I want to see. And like you said, she is an amazing actress. I loved her in Baby Driver. Driver. And the 5 minutes.
She was the only good thing in Bloodshot.
Yeah. Oh yes. Completely forgot about Bloodshot. She was great in Alita. She was great in the 5 minutes she's in Hobbs and Shaw. Like, she knocks it out of the park. This one felt like she was
a badass in that one.
Yeah. It just feels like, this one was just like, you're just here. I will say I did laugh at her death scene. Spoiler alert. But, I mean, no.
Yeah. I like how they, like, made it, like, when it was out of the heave, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they definitely made a point to make her voice prominent.
I like no. I like that he looked in there first to make sure the little girl wasn't in there.
Yeah. Yep. Like, okay, never mind. Boom. But yeah, like, yeah, she's so good, and they could have had anybody else in that role, and it honestly wouldn't have, like, and I don't want to say that as like I'm downplaying her. I can tell, like, but I mean, they cast her specifically, so like, have
it's
her
the
do something.
character. It's the character. But that's what I'm getting
Yeah,
at is like the characters are just there. Like there's nothing there, aside from Brian Tyree Henry, who's literally carrying the movie.
at least the
More or
human
less.
element of it. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
like him and the little girl are carrying this movie. They are carrying us to the
Yeah,
finish line. And every like I said, when I first saw the cast that was listed for this before they'd even had the trailer, before they had showed us
yeah,
anything, I was like, my God, this is a great cast. Like this, like that's the one thing that I will say about them is that their casting choices, for this whole universe is really amazing. They're getting some really great actors in on this, but it's
yeah,
like they give them nothing to do, which makes me hate the human element even more. And I'm just like, let's just get a movie with the monsters. Let's do it. You could
yeah.
even do it to where it's silent for a good chunk of the movie. I mean, oh, they did it with, what was it, Planet of the Apes,
Yeah,
especially
where
War of
they,
the
I mean, it was
Planet of the
basically just sign
Apes.
language,
Yeah, like it
most of it.
was, and those are amazing movies. But it's because you feel for these characters. They build the world that they're in. It feels lived in. This just feels, like I said, and I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. I get that it is a popcorn movie. I get that it's about the entertainment, but I didn't feel entertained. There was a couple of
Nothing
times,
at all.
not overall. So I will say that I enjoyed the fights. Like I said,
Okay.
I just feel like everything was lackluster. But I think it's because of the story. Like it felt rushed. It
Yeah,
felt like they didn't want to take the time, and again, that's why I bring up King of the Monsters for its faults. The story is actually very well paced
yeah,
for that movie. And
and
as
like,
much as I hate that, I'll give you a little teaser of what I think about that movie. As much as I hate the characters with a passion in that
in
movie,
King of the Monsters.
yes, as much as I hate the characters in that movie, and like I said, when we finally talk about that, I'll go into more detail. The story itself is what drives that movie. The
Yeah,
story drives that movie. And this one, like I said, it gets very hammy. It gets very, very cheesy to where like I feel like they were even just like, okay, you know what, it's what it is. This is what it is, and go watch it.
yeah,
Look, they fight, but I don't know. I just feel I think a big part of it is I just feel like it didn't live up to the expectation of everything we had seen prior because this was building up.
yeah.
This is years in the making. Like I remember sitting and watching Kong Skull Island in theaters, and I remember just going on a whim because I was like, I'm not really interested by it. It's just, it just looked, all right to me. But then I remember sitting and watching it. I gave it a chance. I sat down and I was like, oh my God, this movie's amazing. Like I remember
Yeah, it
walking
was
out of
really
that.
good.
Yeah, like I felt very like fulfilled. I felt very refreshed after watching that movie. It felt like a breath of fresh air. Like, this is it was a great story. The action was there. The acting was amazing. It felt like a full, complete journey. And the same
Yeah,
thing with the
and I felt
first
like,
one.
yeah, and I felt like both. Even in that first one, like I love the first Godzilla with in 2014. Like I think that's my favorite one out of all of them so far. And again, like I complain about the humans not doing much, but like I guess I'll just give a little small tidbit. So like what made the first one so great is honestly it was the slow reveal of Godzilla, and I
Yeah.
think that it was like
Oh,
that anticipation. That's what I loved about it. Like it was that slow build up, and
I.
then when you got it, and then you see them fighting these what they call them the mutos, and it
Yeah.
was just to me it was just amazing. Like I didn't need to see a 2 hour long of just monster on monster action as much. I didn't need that, but But with Kong, like even the humans served a purpose, and like you felt the humans' journey of survival as well as Kong's journey of survival. Like, and in this one, it was just like, let's just put these two these Titan kings, and let's get them to fight, which is fine. Again,
Yeah. But
do you want to like go into like overall rating you want to give this movie, or?
yeah, I mean, I think we've pretty much talked about everything. I mean, especially the ending where it's just like the nod, the nod that they give each other is just like, okay,
yeah,
let's go.
After
Or like
after
when
the
he's
defeat
standing
of
on his chest,
Godzilla.
and yeah, and they have their Martha moment and whatnot.
Yeah.
Why did you say that name? Yeah, I'd say as far as an overall rating goes, I mean, I don't even know how we would judge that. So if I was to say, like see it or skip it,
Just give it a number out of 10.
out of
Or I say give it a number out of 10.
give a number out of 10.
And you can use you can use a decimal. Ooh. Like 6.5. I don't know.
I would give it a 5. I would give it a 5.
Just
maybe
a 5.
Maybe if I was feeling generous, very generous, maybe a 5.5. Like I said, okay. It's just I'm in the middle with it. It's just I'll go back to the argument that it's just that all the years of building up to what this was supposed to be and everything that had come before it, this movie just fell. And it fell hard like Godzilla.
Like I will say, like all my nitpicking about plot and just overall story and the characters, and it just I still had a lot of entertainment. Like just the fights itself, like I was enjoyed by the fights, and I feel like I could give it a rating just based off of technicals, like the story and the acting and all that stuff, but overall, was I entertained? And I would say I was. I don't think I was as entertained as maybe like all the other ones, all the previous ones. And maybe later on down the road, we'll make an episode of how we would rank the MonsterVerse movies.
Oh yes,
not the dark multi, not that other.
No,
the actual Godzilla MonsterVerse. Maybe we'll make a ranking video of all 4 movies.
No, I.
But
can totally confirm that will definitely be down the line.
Yeah. I feel like I would give this a 7 out of 10. I think a lot of people will find enjoyment out of this.
Yeah,
because again, I mean, and I think it's perfectly timed too, because theaters are just now opening up. So a lot of people want to just go see a movie. They just want to get out of the house, and they want to just escape and just see these 300-foot tall Titans. And again, that's probably perfect timing. So yeah, a lot of people will find entertainment. So they're just gonna like go out and see it just for that, which I'm cool with, because the more money it makes, the higher chances that we get a potential sequel. But yeah, I like I said, I enjoyed it. Again, the fights between Kong and Godzilla was all. I mean, that's what I wanted to see. I mean, I didn't care if there was any humans in it or not, except Isa Gonzalez. Definitely want to see her.
We'll find a way to bring her back.
Yes. She didn't die.
Oh, they'll just do the same thing they did to her in Alita. Just have her face on the robot body.
Yes.
On the android body.
She'll be like Mecha Kong or something.
She'll be like, I survived.
No.
Well,
that's all we have for today, Ranters. If you like anything we had to say, please like, comment, and subscribe for future episodes. But please remember that these are our opinions, and if you want to share yours, leave them in the comments below and we'll be happy to discuss and debate. My name is Robert, and you can find me at 037, that's 0 with an X, over on Instagram and Twitter.
And you can find me, Ryan, on Instagram at Rants 2013. We will be back soon with more content, but until then, keep ranting.